The role of Hadith in Ikhtilāf among Muslim Jurists. Chapter 4. Tarjih continued. The third and last book which we have to refer to is Az-Zulami's Asbab Ikhtilāf al-Fuqaha. He states that the attitude of the Fuqaha differed with regards to the conflict that may exist between two hadith. However, there are some legal general principles that all the Fuqaha and Usulis adhere to, namely jam' between two conflicting hadith. If jam' was not possible and the date was known, then the latter hadith abrogates the preceding one. If the date, however, is unknown, one of them is considered preponderant, arjah, over the other. What Zulami mentions as a general principle is only the procedure adopted by the muhaddithin, as we have seen above. Other scholars have different views. There is no such general agreed upon principle on the sources consulted by us. There are, broadly speaking, the procedures followed by scholars when two ahadith conflict with each other. However, some points must be clarified in this context. The procedure adopted by the majority of the usulis and muhaddithin, the first, i.e. jam', and then if not possible tarjih, is in my view the right and the correct procedure. The reason for this is that jam' allows both ahadith to be used and valid without cancelling any of them. Shawqani says one of the conditions necessary for tarjih to take place is that jam' is not possible in any acceptable manner. If jam' was possible, then we must resort to it. Tarjih is not accepted in this case. As regards naskh, it's an important factor and must be considered. If naskh is clearly stated in a valid and sound hadith, then we must resort to it. In this case, and to act accordingly to the abrogator. The abrogated hadith is cancelled and hence there is no conflict. Consequently, there is no need for jam' or tarjih. However, if naskh is not clearly stated in the text of the hadith, then of course we will not resort to it. This leads us to deduce that the procedure which gives preference to naskh, as the Hanafis do, is more pertinent only when there is a clear indication of naskh stated in the text of one of the hadith. In contrast, if there is no clear evidence or statement referring to naskh and only some signs and indications, i.e. knowing the date, then the procedure which he puts forward is naskh at the end is more important. Those who maintain that in the event of an irreconcilable contradiction between two hadith, both of them are cancelled, cannot prove their contention on the basis of the actual facts. Factually, there has never been such a contradiction that resulted in dropping of both of the hadith. However, we can claim the theoretical principle of the cancellation of two conflicting hadith had no practical bearing to the disagreements of the jurists. As for the view that scholars hold that the mukallaf chooses whichever hadith he prefers, i.e. when there is ta'arud, conflict, this view has no grounds to stand on whatsoever. The mukallaf, the one who is legally obligated, may indeed leave the rajih and resort to the marjuh.